Next up to the right here we have a couple of these magic tools, the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. We'll start with the magic wand tool, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. What the magic wand tool does is it tries to find everything that matches what it is that you're clicking on. There's a tolerance of 32, and the smaller the tolerance, smaller the number, the more exact the match has to be for it to work. The higher the number, the less exact it has to work. This is good for taking out areas like this where there's again a pretty good defined difference between the areas. If I click in here, you see it did a very good job of grabbing all that except for right there, and I could use my Polygonal tool to fix that area and clean that up. Let's just see how we can use multiple tools here. Okay, so I want to be subtracting from a selection right there, and I'll click down here and I'll drag up to here, and I'll just click kind of out here someplace around that selection, and I've now removed that from that selection. So you wanted to add this piece in here, I'll use the add to option up here, my Polygonal tool, and I'll just click around this triangle right in here, and I'll come down. Now you can overlap the selection itself like that, that's fine, and that adds to it. So you can see how using a combination of tools also can help you to carefully define a particular area. I'm not really sure about what's happening up in here, so I'll probably subtract a little bit of that and then clean it up with an eraser tool. So let's just do that quickly before we move on here. I'm just going to come down just a little bit. I think that was cutting in just a little too much onto the wheel. And then just click around here, finish that off, and there's our new selection. Hit the delete key, and there we go. We've now deleted out that section. And again, using two techniques, primarily with the magic wand, which as you saw here is very good at grabbing areas like right in here that are different from what you want to leave. So I was clicking here with the magic wand. It's pretty good at grabbing that. Notice how it kind of spilled over here because there was a little bit of a space there. If I change the tolerance down to 10 and click in here, it's a much smaller area that it grabs. It has to be a more exact match. Let's put this up to 15. Here we go, click right down there. Now I can use this also with the add to, and I come in here and I can add to that using the magic wand to add additional areas into that. So it's a very good tool, as you can see here, if you pick the right tolerance setting, to quickly come in and allow it to find the edges for you, and then just kind of clean up your selection afterwards. So depending upon what it is that you're selecting, the kinds of content in that area in your picture, this may be an easy tool to use. Let's just deselect all this stuff. There we go. Now the other option here is the quick selection tool. Notice we have a paintbrush new selection area. We can add to or subtract our selection. We can work with all layers, and we can choose a brush. So this actually works like a paintbrush. Just bring it down to a much smaller size. That's pretty good. Click on that arrow right there. You can adjust the size, the hardness, and the space. We can ignore that stuff down here in this particular lesson. All I care about really is the size and the hardness. And you can then paint in a selection just like that. Just kind of paint in, and it's going to try to match what it is that you're painting, and then use that. So it's kind of like working with the magic wand, is that in this case we'll be doing just a little paint stroke, and it's going to try to match what's inside of that paint stroke area. So again, an interesting tool to use for making these kinds of automatic selections. So the marquee tool you use to make your selections is going to depend really upon the content of the image that you're trying to adjust, and then cleaning up that image. Now off camera here, off screen, I'm going to go ahead and finish taking out the spoke areas out of this wheel. Let me just back up, and I'll be using the polygonal lasso tool to do that. I'll just come in and take out each one of those triangles using that particular tool, which is again my favorite tool, and that will leave us with that nice clean wagon wheel, which we can use in other discussions. But there you go, that's working with the different lasso tools and with the different magic wand and selection tools, and also how you can use a combination of tools as well. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you found it useful. If you like this video, click on the like button below to let others know. You can click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. I'm frequently uploading new training videos. Don't forget to check out my website at howtogurus.com. You can share this video with your friends and coworkers. Just click on share and then click on the social media buttons. Feel free to comment on my videos. I try to answer all comments as quickly as I can. And finally, you can get all of my training videos on DVD at howtogurus.com. Thanks again for watching.